Get Cooking with Chef Ash. What's your appetite? All right, now today we are cooking some collard greens, neck bones, and right here we are cutting the greens. I did go ahead and pick those greens off camera, pick those by hand, just like we used to do when we was younger. So we're just gonna cut those greens and we're gonna dump them in a bath of water with some salt, a little dab of vinegar. Boom, right there. Okay, and we're gonna finish off cutting these greens up so we can go ahead and wash them in a moment. Okay, y'all, so we didn't finish cutting these greens up, and now we're gonna go ahead and start washing these greens in that bath of salt water and vinegar water. Okay, these greens is pretty dirty. I did go ahead and just, work my way through it and just kept washing them. You just gotta clean the greens because they're so dirty. So here we're just gonna go ahead and let that dirty water out. You do not want your greens soaking in any dirt or grit, or you don't want excess. So we're just gonna head and just soak them, and we're gonna rewash them a little bit. See how dirty that water is? So here we're going ahead and we're running some more water in there. We're gonna go ahead and get that salt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're just gonna let that fill up and let that soak. I let mine soak for about an hour. I did put a little dash of lime juice in there too. Okay, so here we have the broth that my neck bones cooked in. So I just boiled the neck bones for about 3 to 4 hours. I also just seasoned it with just herbs, more like garlic and thyme and a little oregano and sage. I don't season the neck bones with salt and all the other seasonings that I'm going to show you guys until I place the greens in the pot. You don't want to overpower a salty meat already. It's very heavy in sodium. And so we're going to go ahead and season our greens with that Lowry seasoning salt. Yep, we're going to get some of that Tony's. Then we're going to go ahead and put some of that garlic powder in there. You can load it in there as much as you like. I like to put a little bit a lot. All right, now. And next we're going to go ahead and get some of that paprika. We're going to put some of that paprika in there. Bop. All right, now next we're going to go ahead and get some of that poultry seasoning. Bam. We're going to go ahead and put some of that Saison in there. I put 2 packs in there. I like the flavor that it brings to any of the dishes that I use it in. Remarkable. So go ahead and put that up in there if you like that. Put it to your own liking. Anything that you add into your food, your greens, always season to your own taste and your own liking. This is how I like my greens. We're going to add some thyme leaves in there now. Yeah. We're going to add us some fresh minced garlic up in there. I love that. Go ahead, add a little bit more. And dab ranch. A little crushed red pepper. All right, some bidet complete. A little doop doop. All right, next we gonna get us some cayenne pepper to your own liking. You can add a lot of spice. All right, so now we just gonna mix some greens on up. Mix all the flavors in there. Remember, we didn't season that broth, that juice that we put them neck bones in. So we seasoning that broth that we have in there. The flavors are gonna go ahead and combine. Now you don't forget to taste that juice, okay? Ten out of 10. That juice in them greens, 10 out of 10. So we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of those greens to the pot. Don't worry, those greens will cook down. So now that we're done adding all of our greens to the pot, we're gonna put that lid on the greens and let them simmer. Let those greens cook while we go ahead and cut those neck bones up. Now let's get into these neck bones. So I'm just chopping the meat up. I don't do it a certain type of way. Remove the meat from the bones and go ahead and just chop the meat to your liking. You don't have to chop it if you want those whole chunky pieces. Those are awesome. I do leave a little bit chunky on the side in a bowl. But however, I'm going to chop some of that meat up and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now these neck bones, they are so tender. Let's get into these smoked neck bones. Look at that. Okay. Just take. There we go. Next, we're going to go ahead and separate the meat from the bones and get those bones moved over off that cutting board a little bit. We're going to chop that meat to your liking. So that's me here going ahead and chopping that meat. Okay, just a little, put the knife through it, go across it back and forth. Nothing too major, nothing too difficult. Okay, and there we are. Bones. Yes. You see those greens did cook down. I did add that third pack of that Saison. And then we going to go ahead and, oh man, it fell. But we going to go ahead and put them neck bones up in there. And we're going to go ahead and get all that meat up in that pot. And continue to let those greens cook, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go in and stir that meat up in there. And mix all that meat through them greens. I do like to cook my greens for about 45 minutes. That's not including the cook time for that neck bones. Now, I told y'all 3 to 4 hours for the neck bones. Now look at those greens. Those are done, perfectly seasoned, great taste. Ooh. Now look at that plate. What's your appetite?